Hello again everybody, Boyd here with you, and welcome back to another edition of TrekWorks. Well, this is part 14 of our Enterprise Refit build, and we left off with you last time doing some Aztec work, and we're doing some more today. We're working on the starboard side of our secondary hull, on the upper section here, and I'm just going through and starting to do some of these panels. You can see I've already got my mask applied on here, so what we're going to be doing today is working in all these colors. We got a little technique we're going to use and show you today. We're going to remove one color at a time here. You can see I've got this little chart here in front of me. I'll back up on this for you a little bit so you can see that. This is from the Trek Modeler Painting Guide for this model. And you can see we've got our lower section here, which we've already got done, and I've got that masked off, so I'm working on the upper section here. And as I talked about before, these panels on this model, on the masking set from Orbital Drydock, some of them are not exactly in the exact shape or position on here, so we're just going to get a good kind of facsimile of where they are. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start off removing the areas that are going to be blue. I've got some blue loaded into my airbrush here, so let's go ahead and start doing that. I'm going to work from the rear forward. I've got a little piece of wax paper here off to my right that I'll be laying these masks down on, and we're going to be reusing those. So as I peel each one, I'll stick it on the wax paper, and then we'll save that and put it back on the model after we sprayed our color here. So we can see up in this upper left hand corner here we've got a little section of blue, so I can see here on this mask that I've got one there, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and we'll expose all these areas here that we're going to have our blue color. If I can get a hold of it here. Hopefully the power doesn't go out in the middle of this, guys. We're getting a pretty good thunderstorm right now. There we go. She's starting to lift up for me. Alright, and I'm just carefully sticking that down on my wax paper, and I found out in this process that it's really important to maintain a clean piece of wax paper too, because the adhesive on this material here, this masking material, it's not very strong, and once you stick it down once or twice, it's pretty much used up. So again, I'm just following the guide here and going along and removing some panels. What our plan is today is, once we get this finished up with our colors, we've got 4 different colors to spray on this, then we're going to come back a little bit later here and we're going to apply some future floor wax polish on this, which will seal it all in and help us from scratching it or anything like that as we're working with it. And then we're going to go up to the top on the dorsal area here and finish off the Aztecs on that, and then over onto the pylons. Once that's all completed, we can go ahead and lay down our decals. Actually, we've got to do the neck as well and the sides of the torpedo base, so there's a little bit of work to do on this yet, but once we get all this done, the point I was trying to make is that we'll be sealing this whole thing, and then we can apply our decals. We'll have a nice smooth surface, and then we'll seal this all once more time with the future, and then the secondary hull will be pretty much done here. So all we'll have to do is attach our nacelles and our saucer after that. So okay, I'm just looking at some of these patterns here some more and picking out spots for some more blue, and I'm going to go with this one right here. And again, this is kind of like a jigsaw puzzle like we talked about last time. You just kind of go along and oh, that's a long one. Well, that'll look cool anyway. And these little pieces will be put back in place once we're done spraying. Okay, we're moving forward here. Looks like we've got one like really close to the top, so I'm going to pull this one right here. Again, sometimes this can seem really tedious and the slow part of building the model, but I really enjoy it. I think it's fun, and when you finally pull all of your masks and all your tape at the end and get to see how beautiful it looks. It's worth every second of the work. These tweezers are working out really good. I hope you guys had a chance to maybe pick up a pair of these since we talked about it last time. It works really, really good. Makes lifting these masks off a breeze. In here, every once in a while you'll see on these masks where there's a little bit of a stubbornness on their part where they don't want to split or they're cut, and like I said, you just kind of work with them a little bit and you can get them loose here. I'm just creating some unique shapes here, pulling different things at random. We want to kind of make sure that we have a nice balance of colors, different colors here, and not too much of one color and not enough of another. So it seems like in the whole theme of this, though, when you look at the photos and things like that, as I mentioned before, the red out of the four colors is the least used in this pattern. It's a lot of blue and a lot of gold, mostly with highlights of green and then a little bit of red here and there. So got a small one up in the corner here. Let's try and get off there. Got that one. Okay, just kind of looking it over a little bit here. I like it pretty much. It looks pretty well balanced. I think I'm just going to pull one more here in this section right here of the blue. I can get one that's kind of separate from everything else. There we go. There, like that. Alright, so I've got my my blue already loaded up in my gun here, my airbrush, so I'm going to go ahead and dust this on. A little test shot here with my spray. Looks good. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So we'll let this dry for just a couple of seconds. I'll hit it with my heat gun here off camera, get that dry, and then we're going to place these masks back on. I'll show you a little bit of that when we come back, guys. Alright everybody, well I've finished reapplying my masks here. It was a simple matter of just picking up the masks off of my wax paper and using the tweezers and reapplying them. Kind of like I said, like working with a jigsaw puzzle. And you can see, I'm going to tighten up on the shot here for you. You can see that what I've done is everywhere that I've sprayed a color, I've made a mark with my little marker here on each mask. Even though when you first start out here, you can tell the original ones that you pulled off, they don't have any overspray on them, you know, color-wise. So you can see where you pulled them. And as we get into the different colors here, that's going to be a little bit harder. So we'll just continue to mark those as we pull them off. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to I've switched my color to the gold in my airbrush, and I'm going to go and start pulling some of these masks here that are going to be our gold color. And work our way across here again. Now one little tip that I'll give you two guys is when you reapply these masks, they aren't quite as sticky as they were originally, so that's something you want to keep in mind. So what I'll usually do in that case is I will turn my pressure on my airbrush down just a little bit so that when I'm spraying you know, on into this project here, that we don't accidentally blow any of those masks off. The first time around it's not quite as important because they're, you know, plenty sticky, but we could have one lift up on us and we wouldn't want that to happen, so we'll just dial our pressure down on our airbrush a little bit when we apply this this next color here. And just going through and looking for colors that we want to do in gold now. Okay, got that one upside down. That's a long one. That'll look good. Again, I've got my magnifying visor on here again for the simple fact that these masks, it's really hard to see the edges on them. They are definitely small and very precisely cut. Okay, move to this next panel. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but the rain's starting to come down pretty darn good out there. Let's get this one here to the bottom. This one on the top too. There we go. Looking pretty good here. small one down the corner I think we can get here. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to turn my air pressure down on my brush here, and we're going to lay down our gold. Okay, I'm going to have to step over there because I can't seem to find the knob. Okay, I've dropped it down to about 15 psi. We were spraying at about 25 before, guys, so this should help us from knocking any of our mask loose. Alright, here we go. Alright, lovely. Okay guys, we're going to repeat and put the mask back on here. I'll let this dry. We'll come back and we'll be switching to our green color next. So I'll be right back with that one. So here we are again, guys, back with our green, and I've already pulled all of our masks, put the other ones back in place like we did last time, and we're ready to spray down that color, and then we'll be down just one color left, and that'll be our red. So again, I've got my air pressure turned down, so here we go. Alright, looking good. Okay, let me switch colors one more time, guys. We'll come back with our red to finish this up, and then we'll be all done with this side panel here, and we'll take a look at how it turned out. Alright guys, well we're down to our red color now, and we're going to go ahead and lay this one down, and then we'll be finished up with the colors on this. So here we go. Just a little test spray there. And that's that. Let's give this a quick dry here. And things are looking good, guys. Alright, time to pull our masks. We'll just start working these off one at a time here. As you can see, these last masks that I used earlier, they're coming off here pretty easy because we've lost a lot of the tackiness on them by reusing them. This will take a little while. I'm going to save a little time on the camera here, guys, and I'm going to finish removing all these masks. We'll come back and show you how it looks, and then we're going to spray a coat of our future on this to seal it up. Be right back. Okay everybody, we're back with you one more time here, and you can see I've pulled all the tape off of the model now, and I went back while we were off camera here and I sprayed a couple of light coats of this Pledge floor care finish on the model to seal up our Aztec work that we just finished. That way we can prevent scratches and little things like that, and we have a nice sealer on that. And we'll also have a nice smooth glossy surface to put our decals down over top of the Aztecs. And once we complete all that, we'll go ahead and seal it up one more time with more of the future, and that'll have our decals all nice and smooth and secure. I'll mention about this Pledge floor care. A lot of you guys may not have heard of it. It's a really nice product that a lot of modelers are using for sealing their models, or a nice top coat, finish coat. You can either brush this on or spray it on with your airbrush. If you brush it on, don't worry about the brush strokes. It's a self-settling material. It'll, if you see any brush strokes in it, it'll settle out, but it's very, very thin, so if you're spraying it, you want to be careful and spray light coats because you can get some runs, but it works very, very well. And you can see the results here. It gives a really nice sort of a, not too glossy of a finish, just a nice kind of a semi-gloss that I really like, and I really think it looks correct for the refit. You can see here that when we tilt the model in the light now, you can see all of our colors with our Aztecs, and we've got that going on all the way through here. If I can tilt this just the right way, you'll see it all lighting up. And so yeah, our colors look beautiful. I'll turn this around and show you the other side really quick here. So we're really making good progress on the secondary hull. This is the some of the, not the most difficult part of the model to do the Aztec painting on, but it's definitely a little harder to do than the work that we're going to do on the saucer, because those are just big flat surfaces. Now in the next segment, part 15, what we're going to be doing is going up onto the pylons and painting on those beautiful lightning bolt Aztec patterns in the multiple colors, onto the neck, onto the sides of the torpedo bay, and we'll have everything pretty much wrapped up as far as the Aztecs go on this secondary hull. Then we'll be painting on all of our detail colors, such as our blue that we have here on the blowout panels and on the leading edges of the pylons here, the neck, and a few other areas. And that way this whole entire area will be pretty much wrapped up. We'll apply our decals and we'll seal it one last time, and the secondary hull will be pretty much completed, everything except the deflector dish, and we'll be ready to move on to our nacelles and our saucer. So things are looking really good, guys, and we'll be back in the next couple days with that one, and that'll be part 15. So we'll see you then. Until we do, everybody, take care out there, and happy modeling, everyone.